What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? So there was an article on The Athletic that came out a while ago. I would say it was a couple weeks ago, and it was ranking the top 125 NBA players into their own tiers. Now, I haven't actually heard too much about this article, and I wanted to wait to react to it for a video when I got the chance to. The only things I heard was kind of from Nick's Twitter and how RJ Barrett gets like heavily disrespected. You can actually kind of see him here being in the fifth tier, so we'll get to that in a little bit. They start like at the top of the article from 1, so we'll go from the bottom just to get some suspense. I kind of saw who was number 1 when I clicked on the article, not realizing they were going to go from 1 to 125. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy these videos, feel free to drop a thumbs up. I'll leave a link to the article in the description below if you want to take a look at it yourself. Alright, so to pretty much start this tier, I really can't say too much about it. I can say some players immediately. I wouldn't say belong in a tier down because I don't know who honorable mentions were. But I could be like, okay, this player seems clearly better than everybody in this tier. Is there like a reasoning for this tier before? Okay, no, so it just goes straight into 4. Okay, so this tier has Ayo Dosunmu, Joe Harris, Quentin Grimes, Marcus Morris, Grant Williams, like Norman Powell. They all serve their own purpose. They're all kind of like a special, I guess I was trying to say just like a specialist. Like they might be a rebounder, 3-point shooter, shot creator, a playmaker off the bench, or just a complimentary piece. But RJ Barrett seems a little weird to be in 5A. Now, I can get why you put Julius Randle there because I don't think he's as good as his numbers say he is, but I'm very shocked to see RJ Barrett in here. Now, we're going to have probably great defenders up there as well, so I'm very shocked to see Lou Dort down here as well because Lou Dort is one of the better perimeter defenders in the league, and same with Alex Caruso. So that seems a little bit low. So, like, yeah, you got Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, KCP, Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, I'm getting the vibe of this tier. Even Russ seems, I don't know, after the year he had and maybe like what goes into it, how he's getting paid a lot of money, how he probably demands the ball when he shouldn't be like a top 3 option, that can hurt his tier ranking. So I get that. I just think that RJ and maybe Dort are a little bit low in this tier. You could say Randall is, but I'm not gonna harp over that one too much. Everybody else seems like they fit pretty well in this tier. Kelvin Johnson at 5A, like we'll see who's above them, and I'll be like, no, that player should be below them. I'm just like D'Lo, Vucevic, okay, we'll see. Franz Wagner, Rozier, Capella. So let's get into the 4. So immediately Brooke Lopez. I mean, Brooke Lopez, like obviously maybe is a specialist on defense, and he's not the shooter he was that random outlier year back in, what was that, like 2020, 2021, whatever that was. I just don't know why he's in this tier. And like Anthony Simons, but not RJ Barrett, Lou Dort. I'm like, what does Brooke Lopez do that Clint Capella? I guess he does space the floor, and he's proven to be on a winning team. But yeah, I'm not too big on that. Okay, so here's kind of the criteria. Around 5 players per season perform at a supermax level, where 35% of the team salary cap or more. Add to a team's championship equity. Another 10 to 15. So I guess this is the next tier. Add to the veteran max level, worth about 30% of the cap. Tier 3 is a further 20 to 25 players performing at a level justifying a rookie max. 30 to 35 produce around 20% of the cap, and 50 to 75 provide some additional championship equity on top of their everyday production. Good to great range of 125 to 150 matter from a championship perspective at any one time. Thus form the structure of the tiers. Okay, so he weighs playoff viability and success highly, while regular season 4 raising matters, lifting a team ceiling even more. Okay, that makes sense. Like Russell Westbrook doesn't really lift a team ceiling, but he lifts a team floor. As such as I try to envision that a player in the role he would likely play for a contending team. This does lead to some tension when deciding between a top role player and a more middling offensive hub. I consider the whole team's players recent, or consider the whole of a player's recent career, not just last season. Makes sense. So Russ being low, that kind of hurts him in this case, even though he's had a 6. Well, okay, no, I get the reason for Russ being low. It serves to eliminate or at least reduce wild year-to-year swings and player tearing due to factors often outside of a player's control. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of basically a rundown of all this. You can kind of go into more of the article yourself. So yeah, there's some players that I think would contribute on a championship team a little bit more. Like I think Mike Conley could have the similar impact to Brooke Lopez, but I don't want to split hairs here. Like it's tough to make these tiers and these ranking videos. So I'll just say kind of what I disagree with. Like I feel like Tobias Harris kind of fits that role. Okay, yeah, I just think Brooke Lopez, like, being there over RJ Barrett. I get why you have Seth Curry there, because the money he's making, he could be just kind of, he knows his role, 5th scoring option, that off-ball shooter. Like, RJ Barrett kind of needs the ball in his hand, so I get that. I don't like Aaron Gordon. He's never really proven to be efficient. And last year he was a number 2 option, and boy, was he far from that. I just think, like, Yeah, RJ, Dort. Who else do I think could be even a tier above? Kuzma, it was pretty good last year. Gary Payton as a defender. Kelvin Johnson. Franz Wagner. PJ Tucker. Every championship team wants him. How is he so low? How is Aaron Gordon in front of PJ Tucker? That I do not get. So this is 4B. There's a 4A. Okay. Dorian Finney-Smith. I get that. Dorian Finney-Smith is great on a championship team. But you're telling me Lou Dort wouldn't do the same? Or PJ Tucker? Where are we getting at with that? Al Horford. Okay. Smart, Allen, Bane, Murray. I'm surprised. Like, Murray is 2 full tiers ahead of RJ Barrett. Same with Darius Garland. I'm fine with Garland being higher. And I'm fine with Murray. Like, they're better players, don't get me wrong, but 2 full tiers. I don't know. Maxey, 2 full tiers than RJ Barrett. Does that go into contract? Does that go in just flat out efficiency? Not sure. But yeah, here's pretty much tier 4A. Here's 3C. So we have a couple tiers in the third tier where you have Simmons, hasn't played in over a year, proved to be a liability offensively in the playoffs. So maybe that's why he's in tier 3. Zion, we really haven't seen in the playoffs, or we haven't at all. Cat, okay, that seems a little low for Cat. And Anthony Edwards. Okay, LaMelo, Jaren Jackson, McCollum, and Clay. 2 veterans here that have a great playoff track record, at least performing, especially in Clay. And 3C. Here's 3B. Like, what has Murray done that, like, McCollum hasn't? And, like, McCollum is probably better than Jamal Murray right now. Murray hasn't played in a year. I know it's previous track record. He balled out in 2020, but I don't know. You got Shea, Levine, Siakam, Mitchell, DeRozan, Draymond, and Beal. I'm surprised to see Draymond in front of Clay. And yeah, I'm surprised like McCollum isn't in that tier because he's just been in the playoffs a lot. I guess, yeah, like the Blazers really never amounted to anything in the playoffs. So I guess that makes sense there. 3A, you have Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo, Chris Middleton, Kyrie Irving. All 5 of these players have at least been to an NBA Finals at one point in their career. Like DeRozan's never been, Murray's never been, Mitchell, Siakam has, excuse me. Levine hasn't, Shea hasn't, Beal hasn't, obviously Draymond has, and then only Clay in this tier has been to a finals. Who from here has been to one? Like you had Smart, Bridges in the finals, Horford, Robert Williams, Aiden, a couple players here, Wiggins, OG. Okay. Next up we will have 3A, which 2C, which is Devin Booker, Rudy Gobert, Chris Paul, Paul George, Damian Lillard. I'm surprised Drew Holiday and Chris Paul are in different tiers, for being honest. I'm surprised Rudy Gobert and Bam Adebayo are in different tiers, because Bam, you could say Rudy Gobert is better than that. It's perfectly fine with me. But Bam's at least had a playoff track record. To not be ran off the floor and was so crucial to the Miami Heat's 2020 bubble run. If you look at a series against Boston, like that was incredible. That game-saving block against, I believe it was Tatum, like was one of the best defensive moments in NBA playoff history. So yeah, I'm surprised Bam is a little bit low there. You guys can also let me know in the comments what you absolutely disagree with, what you agree with. Was there something I missed that I didn't talk over that you think is kind of low? Yeah, let me know. So 2B, we have Trey, Harden, Morant, and Davis. Now, I'm going off playoff a lot. Obviously, this is still right now. You're getting, like, ceiling out of it. Harden being kind of in that tier is fine with me. He's obviously trending down. AD was a little bit down this year. We'll see with his injuries and how it affects him next year. But Young and Morant are 2 blossoming point guards in this league, so I'm fine with them being in that tier. I'm surprised that they're in a tier higher than Devin Booker. I also believe, I'm kind of shocked that they're also a tier higher than Paul George. Damian Lillard as well, even, because Damian Lillard, we know he's had his past success. He was hurt this year, but so is AD. I would say they were pretty similar in the start of the season, so them being in 2 different tiers is interesting. But like I said, I don't want to split hairs too much or kind of make it a big deal if they're just 1 tier apart from each other, because that you could probably interchange. 2A, you just have Tatum and Bradley Beal. Okay. I'm trying to think if like anybody here would belong in that tier. I'm fine with Trey. I mean, if we get fully healthy AD and we see that he's not past his prime and he's in it, he could be joining that tier. Harden, same with him this year. I'm surprised Paul George is not in this tier with Butler and Tatum, but I guess they've kind of separated themselves, taking their teams to finals in 2022 and in 2020. Yeah, and then Chris Paul's obviously playoffs didn't help. So next up we have 1C. You get a little sneak peek of 1B, but you have Kawhi and LeBron. Okay, we can actually just kind of show you the whole thing now. So, Jokic, clear best player in the league. I mean, he's the back-to-back MVP. So, if you want to say he's a pure, like, best regular season player, I am fine with that. But best overall player, in my opinion, it is Giannis. I would have Giannis 1. I'd probably have Curry 2 after the playoffs he just had. I'd have Jokic 3. I'd have KD 4. And then I'd probably have LeBron 5. And then you can, it's tough with Luka, Embiid, and Kawhi. I'd probably go Kawhi, Embiid, Luka still. It's tough to put Luka that low when he's had some of the craziest games. He just brought the Mavericks to the conference finals. I'm still high on Kawhi. I just think he's still going to be really good next year, and people just forget about him. So yeah, I kind of went through that too quickly because I know I could nitpick every single thing here, but I didn't want to do that. I kind of wanted this to be an open dialogue. Jalen Brunson being 3 tiers or 2 tiers higher than like RJ and Randall was a little bit shocking just as a Knicks fan. Quickly there as well in tier 5, so we got a couple Knicks players in here, which is nice. Kelvin Johnson being kind of low, like Michael Porter Jr., he's got injury history. If you're bumping like, I don't know, Paul George down because of injuries or Klay Thompson down because of injuries, why is Michael Porter Jr. in 4B, you know? Yeah, I'm trying to think, like Franz Wagner had a better rookie season than Giddey. I guess you could see the potential there, the upside. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. I also missed Herbert Jones here. He's pretty high, but I think deserving. Kyle Lowry in 4B. Is Kyle Lowry that much better than Mike Conley? Maybe. You could make an argument there. Is Derek White a 4B player? I don't think so. Derek White should definitely be in the 5s here. I would rather have Lou Dort than Derek White. I'd rather have Caruso. I'd rather have Grant Williams. I'd rather have RJ Barrett probably. Also, Quentin Grimes in here. Another Nick. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below of this. Drop a like if you did enjoy. I'll leave a link to the article in the description below. Love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.